Good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kofi. Let me use the opportunity in just this little workout to address. I want to thank God for everybody right after the Jesus celebration, Easter celebration. Thank you all for participating. It was an honor. We give God the glory. I'm using this opportunity as part of my workout to just share some few thoughts and ideas with you by the grace of God. Everybody, let them join us. For those of you who are not Ghanaians, who don't know the preamble or the introduction of the story, I'm going to use the opportunity for us to lay it bare to you. There is a 10-year-old boy that was murdered over the past weekend. I'm talking about the Easter weekend. And what happened, ladies and gentlemen, is heartbreaking because two of his friends, or the people in the neighborhood, I'm doing the preamble, Ghanaians, just for my lovely followers who are not Ghanaians to be able to get the preamble of the story of what I'm talking about. Because of money rituals, they went to a shrine to solicit help for money rituals. And what happened was that they were told that to bring human parts. And so they went into the vicinity and saw this beautiful 10-year-old boy who was playing in his vicinity. And they killed him. Yeah, they killed him. They murdered the boy and buried the boy. Oh, God. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. I share the pain of the mother and father of this lovely boy. I share the pain. I share the pain of Lord have mercy. Do you know what it means to raise up a child? Do you know? I'm talking to the generation, this, upcoming generation. Do you know what it means to raise up a child? The parental obligation that goes into the raising of a child. Do you know what it means to raise up a child? They killed the boy. They murdered the boy in cold blood. In the name of getting rich, they want to be rich overnight without labor, without the investment of... This is very emotional, man. They killed the boy, they murdered the boy, and then in the quest of getting money, taking the money to the ritualist. And then eyewitnesses who found out had to go in. And what happened was that they exhumed the body. Yesterday, the boy was buried. And when I look at the pain, the parental pain, I'm going to address 5 things. We need gatekeepers. We need gatekeepers. This country is bleeding. We are bleeding as a nation. We need intercessors that are going to stand in the gap. We need intercessors that are going to stand in the gap and intercede for a sick and a dead nation like mine, where everything is trivialized and politicized, and where everything is just, taken for granted. It is so sad to see a potential, person die for nothing. And in the name of getting rich overnight. I'm going to speak to you about 5 things. And do me a favor, share the page, let's start a watch party and all that. Number 1, I want intercessors of the church to wake up. Wake up, intercessors. We have work to do. We need prophetic intercessors to wake up and come do their job. As if that was not enough. Just in the same KASOA today, yesterday, another young 14-year-old, young man also went to the shrine that he wants ritual money. The generation is just sick of money. They want money without labor. They have forgotten the principles that works with money. Now, money is liquidity. Money is liquid. It flows. Money swells, money ebbs. You need to understand the way money works. God did not intend people to just sit on the bench doing nothing to get money. It does not work that way. If you want money, you need to work for it. There is nothing free in this life except the salvation of the grace of God. If you want money, you need to work for it. Brains must be applied. That is why education is a prerequisite. It's a necessity for people to be able to, understand the way even the world system works. Yeah. When you look at the principles that governs life, it starts with Genesis chapter 8 and verse number 22. The Bible said, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest will never cease. This generation doesn't know, and I do not blame, these children when they are coming up, because of what the portrait they are seeing is what works. And I'm going to address 5 things. Number 1, I want to address the fear of God. This nation doesn't fear God. And it's not only this nation. South Africa, Britain, US, and all stuff like that. We have degraded and degenerated so much. We have drifted away from the fear of God. There is no fear of God. And that is why we don't see the glory of God. So number 1 is the drifting away of God's fear. There is no fear of God. We have drifted away and deviated to our own ways and gone astray, trying to, find our own path. And that is why Romans chapter 1 and verse number 21 addresses it. Even though we have this form that we know God, and yes, we did not honor him and we do not fear him, the fear of God is gone. Share the page for me. I want to speak to somebody. Number 2, there is nothing like doubling money. All that is a scam, madness, absurdity. Jimmy. I'm going to, really talk to this nation. And whilst I'm addressing this nation, I'm addressing the nations of the world. Because this is not only in Ghana. In South Africa, the last time I went there, there was something that I saw, when I went to South Africa. It was the raping of old women. 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds, and it all was in the name of ritual money. As if that was not it, they were also raping and killing albinos in South Africa for ritual money. So these Nzangomas, witch doctors and all that, all have this kind of, scam. They put this whole thing together to be able to, lure and manipulate this young generation who have no application of the brains that God has given them to work. I'm telling you that this nation needs somebody to be able to streamline and get them in line. Yeah, get them in line. You think that, life is all about money and it's all about money. The successful people in this life will tell you that money is not everything. Even though money is a powerful necessity, it is not everything. Relationships, that is life. Money comes at the last. Relationships, values, courtesies, convictions. Vision, purpose, bringing things together, and then the money fuels and funds all these whole things and then makes it more productive. They killed this 10-year-old in the name of getting money because on the television stage, there are over 200 and something television stations in Ghana. and they all go and apply for licenses, and they are granted licenses. They're giving them license to work. And when the licenses are given, the whole idea is to, put up three things together. Number one, to entertain. Number two, to educate. And then number three, to inform. But what happens is that when these licenses are acquired by fetish priests, licenses are acquired by, fake pastors, fake prophets, crazy people. All they do with the licenses is manipulation. They bring all these rubbish, things together. You'll be rich overnight. Call me. I will double your money for you. I will do this. I will do that. And then these young men, leave education. I am surprised. They leave the course of education and they go to follow. I want to be rich overnight. I want to be rich without labor, without the investment of, effort, and then without putting up an enterprise. I want to be rich overnight. And that is how they want to be successful. I am so sorry to tell my ethnicity that with this kind of focus or conviction, I can tell you that there is no future, and I can tell you, you are going nowhere. Any society that does not believe in education, number one, they don't believe in process. Number two, they do not believe in everything works with time. There are laws that governs this whole universe. There are laws that God has put in place. Nature itself has its own laws. Without the putting up together of these laws, you are joking. And I can boldly tell my generation that you are joking, because your sick system is telling you that you can make it without process, that you can make it without time, that you can make it without going through the mill and without the investment of an enterprise. And that is one of the reasons why even this pandemic is teaching all of us a lesson that, we should brace ourselves before a problem or a predicament comes. Look at how last year we were all shivering in the face of this little bag called coronavirus. And, we are all shaken. Our scientists were shaken, presidents confused, and nations gone crazy. We were all in lockdown, locked up ourselves in the face of this little bag that if I wash my hands and I clean it up with water, I am free. We were all shivering in the face of this whole thing because, our systems, were not prepared for anything like that when it comes. And the reason is because we all put up a system that we are waiting until the problem comes and then we can be able to deal with this whole thing. I'm telling South Africa, I'm telling Botswana, I'm telling Namibia, I'm telling Congo, I'm telling, Zimbabwe, I'm telling all the countries and the nations, all that are around me. I'm telling Nigeria, I'm telling Ghana, I'm telling Sudan, I'm telling United States, I'm telling the United Kingdom. You can never make it listen to that. You can never make it without work, without education, without process, without enterprise, without patience, without the values of life, and lastly, without God. Yes, you can never make it without God. So you better look back and turn back to the God that you have rejected. Now let me tell you 5 things, and then I'll go to my workout, start, wrapping up on my, daily routine. I'll exercise and, allow you to go to the rush hour. Number 1, I want to tell everybody that is living in the KASOA area, parenting, has to wake up. Our parental values are going down. When you are a parent and you yourself have no values, your children are not going to have any values in yourself. By the time I leave my 14-year-old to be in a shrine, something is wrong. Same KASOA, I was saying a story I didn't finish. Just yesterday, this guy went to the shrine last week, and then the fetish or the witch doctor took his money. And then he is also looking for doubling money, couldn't get the money. And so now he is telling, I'm going to burn the shrine. The 14-year-old has the audacity and the boldness to go and burn the shrine. shrine. This woman came up and, obstructed the burning of the shrine and said, don't do that. You cannot do that. Rebuke the boy. And then the boy threatens that if you do not, since you have stopped me from burning the shrine, I will burn your son. Yesterday, whilst the little boy was playing, this guy, 14-year-old, poured petrol on almost about an 8-year-old and ignited fire into it. As I'm speaking to you right now, the little boy, 8 years old, is in Kolebu, bends and plastics. Yeah, that's where the boy is right now. And this is the generation in which I'm living. Parents, wake up. There is work to do. This is the time to start going back to Christian homes. Yeah, Christian homes. Yeah, bringing the word of the Lord and the presence of God to our Christian homes. We need it right now. The demand and the reliance on politicians are too much, and they can do very, very, very little. And so I'm using the opportunity to speak to everybody who is under the reach of the sound of my voice. Parents, wake up. I mean, how can I leave my son where I live? I mean, my children do not even come out to play at the compound. How can I leave my son? The kind of training we had. I was telling my wife, we can just get out, eat breakfast, go out, play, and our parents wouldn't know where we are. And then we will come back in the afternoon, come and eat lunch and go back again. That kind of lifestyle must have some control with it, especially in a time where we have the emergence of social media and all. We need to be able to bring some kind of, values into controls and all that kind of thing. Our children should be able to know that you cannot just do anything, because everything you do, there are ramifications and there are consequential whatever that goes with it. We should be able to come up to that place. Number 2, I want to tell NCA. Now bring the camera. I want to talk to National Communications Authority. Do you think that Kofi Odro, if I had taken the a license and I'm preaching what I preach and all that, and especially when I rebuke all faculties into governance, I rebuke government, I rebuke the police, I rebuke whatever, do you think that I will still be holding my license? Huh? What's your license? License, and they come up, and all that kind of thing, and they are still having their licenses. Yeah. Why can these licenses are not just given? They are renewed periodically. How come their licenses are still with them and they can, be talking rubbish? Huh? How can people be stripping naked on television, hardcore stuff on television, and our people are watching and they still go and their licenses are renewed? You are shutting political stations down and you give licenses to this crap people? Nonsense. Nonsense. Very interesting. Anybody that speaks against government is an enemy to the government. But anybody who, instills this crap madness into children, I will double money. We are fetish priestess and fetish priests talking garbage, rubbish, madness. Yet, we allow these people to be doing what, they have to be doing. And we sit there idly and look at them. I'm going to use the opportunity to address, NCA, wake up. Yeah, this tells me the systemic failure and flaws in this country, that, there are no systems that works in this particular country. Sir, in this country. No fear of God. And we are experts of the aftermath. And all that kind of. That is what we are experts in doing. Mushare mekaho ye na ye jare Agyin Asare manu omude muko school wa aburochire And look at that smart system. Why didn't we be on my own yansa pa will be to me the abuami the ayama, but on what or tam and one walk out in Abuchi won't see a view because a near man why Hanuti Muse, a near man seer. And song kura Maame Kamumi and Sancho Yenti Emma or May and Koso number 1 Asworden number 2 Etiate number 1 Asworden disobedience number 2 Etiate rebellion number 3 Jimmy Emma or May Koso Unimame Kacho Jimmy pa. Tell him to shut the engine off, Miriam. Jimmy. I can't no man ye. Yeah. Na come for bar, no a license. Na come for near money license. Now a toss system, no. Obe konia massika. Yeah, niti will be Tiani again. I'm Tete we and see Adrene. Any other two a man with Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, that is what we are. And I'm afraid we can see a whoop-an. These little children are dying. Any papa sorry acquire Jumaba Konoma to Tibetan companies. You know, or my beer, what do you look to see and it's when you make cast a match. I'm telling you the word of God. They want to be just, you know, anything that, you know, wants to, any kind of success without work, you are a waste of time. You are just a waste of time. For working to office. How do you expect to prosper? Men and my ye. Agyin Asare pro. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 5. Ya kenkan ho. Ade mo kenkan ponu ne nkwasiade e na mo hwe. Boys yi phone suso no me ya Jimmy nsam nko a be kona yi e na Google so no mo hwe. And you know, I'm going to address leadership at the last stage because leadership comes at the last stage. Enye Jimmy an ko bi ntimi ninsi konkom en ni ngu robe mo mfa nkonko to yi. Enye Jimmy an ko bi ntimi nidia no on ton twena bonten. Enye Jimmy, I'm telling you the word of God. Jimmy pa na ma o manya muska kokko fan ngon from Agyapong na mo apopo bibrebo ska kokko enua wo ni pe wo nyansa nso munye yi. The reason is because mu Jimmy in the doors and you are not prepared to, you know, turn around from it. And I am part of the whole thing that I'm talking about. Yeah, we share, you know, the things, simple things that can make people work. Obi kosokura no e obi time, you know, instead of us to promote our own people that are doing Onia something, the guy who turned diesel or the plant, send it into diesel. This guy was doing all these things. American government picked him up. Yeah. Now, people, do you know the starch, the tapioca that, you know, is used for the American dollar? The cassavas, some of them are coming from my country. And yet, mususka home. To me, I'm married home. Ajia top. A jamai ena. Min penny free fanim. Penny move girls in kitten amope. A jamai. Oh, my yanka wa ben adamna. A penny mua wa ben adamna. And kawiya de fata esena yehu mobo no mal cry dabre papa debi. You know, when Crawford, they live and that is their lifestyle. You know, my yasi yamo chairman gwaji. Asiedu Nketia We're. Yeah, and ya 10 years. It is Romans chapter number Romans chapter number 1 verse number 21. We see one kwasiadwene. Jeremiah 4:22. We say mema ya Jimmy. Yeah. Okay, you know, some 89 verse number you want I will say, you know, o man kwasiafu amunite da ben na mube hunu de. Da ben na mbe hunu nyansa. Look at the way people are dying. Now, that is why we don't have value for human life. Go to the hospital and go and see the disrespect for human values and human life. Ye munipa. Obi awa yare awa ba supite. Girls see, you know, how they treat these people. It will amaze you and it will shock you. Yeah, and that is the kind of lifestyle in which we have. You know, because populism, Agyin Asare. Agyin Asare. Sorry, I'm on Sunday, and we expect, you know, and that is why we don't see the glory of God. And I see you, and all that kind of thing. Once I started girl killing, girlfriend, and all that. We speaking to these young ladies, they do not understand. And yeah, mema when say, come on, papa, I'm telling you, it answer now you need to ensure. Answer you give your heart to somebody, you need to ensure that that person is correct. I am going to wrap up. My internet is, you know, messing up crazily. But I'm using this opportunity to tell, you know, NCA, wake up! Take these licenses from all these crazy people. Revoke their licenses. You know, now we are going to ensure that content will be real. Who is going to do that crazy job? Who is going to review and all that kind of thing? Don't we have standards? Don't we have values? And you call such a system a nation? Huh? A nation, no. A nation, no. The nation will be sorry, a dancing Hunubia, what to me dancing Hunubia and all that kind of thing. There is no decorum, there is no rule of law, there is no order. Obia sorry and say Hunubia and Woody. One can ye be waku could do it to me. Momono, oh yes, oh yeah, they so crying. So sad. I comfort me better not there you saw. As me buska. Obi a upes me boska. Sana powers at TV so ade so ha. TV so kekan kwasi asem sa. Kekan kwasi asem sa. And a biochemist. And me dreams will be a way biochemist. I walk school at Rechino and ko nyansa. Obi a wako university to me sorry call powers ya when you majority in change say you know bomisika homame. Nyankwasi adwini nse huna. Tell me what it is. Sanyankwasi adwini na me ya ha na ohini bi na nko therefore me na no ntra woda. Etama yi efri ni kurom obi te abrochire da de skabre na na se me dan ma me na na tam skana de abankran ha e de abakonfo nchen se ginebo skane ho ma me sanya me na me maame na na ya akuna du e na wode ne na si fam se obegu konfo ne nanimu ase enka woni pa kusika ahye almost 200,000 Ghana cedis konfo Agyin skano Confreji scan. Senya Nanaya Kunedu, Queen of Radio, and Kasikano, and Kashi. Kwasia Junisan Yedigua. Kwasia. This is why so many people can just get up and talk rubbish. When you can China free, it to be sorry free Mukurumu and all that. With the first time I wanted to get a property at what is saying KASOA. I went to a property that is just by the roadside. Acquah say Russia Nibidia. This guy is telling me that he's giving the property $200 per square meter. Russia need here can see yeah, because do you think that I can go to England and own certain places? Huh? And you maybe want mommy to be like genuine to me serious. Genuine to me Obi a sorry anu abebua wura wo menmu and all that kind of omanya ye dim fish e de ocean ye wo ho moda so da dumsum ye kan senye dumso na ye de ben Omanya mowo wenum na enye dum so ye de ben. What is it? Tell me what it is. Huh? We voted for leadership. Fix it. Fix it. Fix it. Fix it. That is why leadership is in place. And it's going to be my last subject for tonight. Yeah, fix it. Korea Paul Kagame or they saying Kigali in Rwanda. Ube Bowen Samama Kigali Paul Kagame. Huh? Go and see what a black man is doing. Embraya Juma, Sankwasia, Sofwan and Kwasia, Zorina, Ogunina. He doesn't care who you are. Ladies, on phony power. Would Jimmy, he shuts you down. Or shut Yebia, which is not in conformity with the word of God, shut you down. The first thing Paul Kagame did, if you want to be a pastor in Rwanda, you need a first degree. What upgrade he's communicating something that he is, bringing even the preachers to a correct state of mind. That if you do not have an appropriate, correct, perfect state of mind, you don't qualify to hold the Bible in Kigali. And kwasi adwene sa obi a pedwuma so o pedwuma no ochia no anya adwuma no ofa baabura wosemate asare kwasi adwene wosemate asare okoye de no de we abu o ga me ma kwankyere rejunction heya obi abe dware ma ne mema yete ha we are waiting until cause obi akwa wura obi njimo ama bibia sina ye he and then Yankrofo Dimirika on Siakako. And for when LBGTI opened an office here, it was there until we talked about it. When him can say, be office for Montana. Be office for Agyin Asare is hypocrisy. I'm telling you, I'm seriously telling you. Enyari ankeni, jare papa, jare ankasa, jare. Yeah, just a BBS. Our sister Ebony died on this road carnage. It is not only that. There are people who have died on our roads that I thought that, we will look at it carefully and then, say to ourselves, we need to fix our roads and all that kind of thing. We need to, I know that we do not have the funds, but if we can curb the waste in our system, we can do a lot more better. Yeah, if we can curb the waste, we can do a lot more. The sad thing is, Yampeni Fuimu be act to Edu Kegali from all political divide, Acquah, Omoto, Kegami hotels, you're free Dubai Ababes in Acquah could do Rwanda, and Omoto estate houses, Rwanda. Yeah. And that is the kind of people that we have. Children, a nation that produces timber. And so still, you will not believe what I'm saying. And so rosewood nkwa ye trafili wo menimo enua ye kire etimi kiri nua betu na adura brochire etimi e ma wero hutimi e menwanwa we me da bia hwe beka cho se hwe hunye no wanya asem a be hunu sa atentini ni o menimo no kure eni o menimo peri ye ni o menimo hweye no wanya asem. I'm telling you, so wunya asem a be hunu se emra nya adwuma. I'm seriously telling you. Also, now when you will free, burn something a general to a name. Now one no more, I'm bringing my AE to a close. I'm doing 4 kilometers, so I'm almost about 2.5 kilometers. Let them and then close up and let me give you the opportunity for you to go and, work on yourself. I thought something like firecrackers was banned. How come it get into this nation? Guns! Who brought it into this nation? I want to know. How did it get into this nation? The person. Yeah. So, when preachers come and they parade Range Rovers and Rolls Royce on TV and say, I'm a billionaire, I'm a rich man. These children are looking at a wrong portrait. The real rich people, do you see them flaunting that? Huh? You know, the real people. Do you see, preacher, no ababe jina we home. May I own this, I own that, I people, and all stuff like that. I want to use the opportunity to tell everybody who is under the reach of the sound of my voice. You know, these children deserve to know the right information. You know, the right to education, the right to process, the right to time, the right to proper procedure and opportunity, the right to the right, in his own house. The Bible said Abraham had 315 people in his own house, born and trained in his own house. Yeah. I'm going to be lying, sister, but TV is okay. May the Lord help our nation. And I tell you, you need Jesus. You need Jesus. You've lost your values. You lost direction. You've lost track. Greed. Demonim. I'm telling you. May the Lord have mercy on you. I pray, Heavenly Father, for everybody who watched this video, who is going to watch it later. May your mercies and your grace help your people in Jesus' precious name. May the Lord favor you, honor you, and bless you. Guys, when righteousness becomes a lifestyle, breakthroughs, it becomes automatic. May the Lord watch over you. Tomorrow morning, Alabaster International Ministry, Jerusalem on Bible 6:30. And then Sunday, I invite you to all our branches. Alabaster City, Sapema, Alabaster Pantan Junction, Adelaide Chapel, Alabaster North Carnation, Alabaster Santo, and then Alabaster Amponsa Memorial Temple. 6:30 and 9 o'clock. The Lord bless you. Sunday is my mother, Christiana Dotete's birthday. Celebrate her and remember to pray for her. The Lord bless you and honor you. You know, we are praying for this nation. And the God who honors his people will help us. May the Lord help you and favor you and guide you and bless you. And turn your heart to him. Yeah. Tetiatempon. Dear Wakwan Panada. Dear Yajanmo Fasunya, whom Emma Womaka. When you pay Antias, Ubia should understand and know that a Timu Dayanim, it doesn't matter what it is. God will judge every man. If God does not judge this generation, the Lord possibly will render an apology to all those crazy people who were swallowed up by the floods in the days of Noah. The Lord will judge us. God will judge African leaders. God will judge Ghanaian leaders. God will judge everybody, including me and you. Yeah. God will judge wife snatchers. Yeah. Husband snatchers. Yeah. God will judge people who facilitate adultery, promiscuity, witchcraft, hatred. God will judge all of them. God will judge this generation in the sin and madness in which we find ourselves. Occultism. Yeah. God will judge all that. The Lord will bring judgment on this generation. And so repent so that you can escape from this particular judgment that is coming. And bring forth fruits that are worthy of repentance. Matthew chapter 3 and verse number 8. I'm telling this generation, yeah, come back to the fear of God and to your first love. I'm talking to you. You say, no, and you say, when you're fuaso, no person be a baby, and name say, this is not a time for anybody to be joking. It's a serious thing. God will judge everybody. God will judge the system in which I'm living in. God will judge the system of this world. God will judge it. God will judge you. I catch you. May the Lord help you and order your steps and lead you. Remain blessed. In Jesus' precious name, I love you.